Hey, and welcome to Shave&Butcher. There's going to be a joke, but I'll do that during lathering because it's longer than just one line. Frank Strömberg at Wet Shaving and Stuff sort of made a general tag in his latest video where he put together things that he really enjoys when he wants to pick himself up or get into a better mood or pamper himself, and whatever expressions he used. So he said he tagged everybody to do just that, but for themselves. So I saw Dave Carr do it, and I'm going to do the same thing. So, it depends on what mood you're in, but I went in and said, okay, what do I choose that I really, really want to use rather than what I should use because I haven't used in a while. It can be like that. How crazy are we? And it's going to vary. One day is going to be different from another day, but this is stuff that I generally reach for. This is a Philharmonica 13 stainless steel Spanish razor. Magical. It's absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to use that. Mitchell's wool fat. Choosing the soap was the most difficult. There's Tabac, there's this one that I got from Aceback, which is from Ginger's Garden. There's only one, so that's special and really good. But to really enjoy the whole procedure and get a bit of a challenge, then Mitchell's wool fat it is today. Brush is, and this is the one. I sort of closed my eyes and said, what do I want to use? And it varies from day to day, but quite often I like this one. This is made by Matti Lindahl, and because he turned it, and it's oak. The brush is a Smoke boar brush, and the design of the whole thing is Frank Strömberg's. So it's a cool soap. I really like it. Message. Yep. I bloomed this soap for 2 minutes or so. It's almost the only soap I bloom, but it helps a bit. I've got post-shave stuff, but I'll get to that at the end. I didn't squeeze the brush properly. That's the second video in a row that I do that. So this is very wet, doesn't really matter. There are a few tricks to loading this soap. I'm not going to go into that. I'll probably mess up today just because. But anyway, the joke, kindly sent by Martin Rowland at YMMV Shaves YouTube channel. So it goes something like, a jumbo jet was approaching Toronto airport, and the captain put on the intercom and said, well, we're on our final descent towards Toronto. Thank you for flying with us, and I hope you enjoy your time in this beautiful city. But then he forgot to turn the intercom off as he started talking to his co-pilot. So the co-pilot said, well, Skipper, what you gonna do when you're in Toronto? And the captain said, and everybody in the plane could hear it, of course. He said, well, first I'm gonna take a big crap. And then, that new stewardess with a body, and, I'm gonna take her out for drinks, and I'm gonna wine and dine her, and then I'm gonna take her back to my hotel room, and then I'm gonna show her some action all night long. And the new stewardess was at the back of the plane and was obviously horribly embarrassed, mortified. So she starts to run through the cabin to reach the cockpit and turn the damn intercom off. But sort of halfway through, she trips on an old lady's bag and falls on her face. And as she's getting up on her knees, the old lady leans over her and says, don't rush it, love. She's gonna take a shit first. Oh, that's a non-feminist joke. It's what my daughter would have said, but we're not into what are we into? I don't know. Anyway, thanks, Martin. I want to tag someone as well. I'm not going to tag Martin because he sort of doesn't like to be tagged, I think. sometimes I ask him and he's just, nah. So, you're not tagged. I'm gonna tag Marion the Barbarian. And Marion is a busy guy, so I don't even know if he's gonna watch it. And you don't have to do this, and you don't have to tag anyone else. But I want to mention Marion because he's quite possibly the most generous person in the wet shaving community on so many levels. He's generous with sending people stuff, but he's also generous in terms of reaching out to people who are struggling a bit and offering help. He's just a swell guy. He's a rock. He's a gem. So Marion the Barbarian YouTube channel. Check it out. Okay, so whatever you get out of the soap, be it wet or dry and whatever, doesn't matter all that much when you load Mitchell's wool fat. You paint it onto the face until it reaches some reasonable consistency. It's less toothpastey than other soaps, but it's you want to get, you can't just go at it when it's foamy, frothy stuff. And then I just paint the water on for a while, put a bit of aggression on, paint more water on, and there you go. And you do that until you're done. I'm not even good at lathering, but Mitchell's, as long as you take it easy, eventually, and add water gradually, eventually it's gonna be good. So, yeah, Saturday, I was going to say Saturday morning, but it's sort of Saturday lunch. Did some exercise this morning. We have this thing in the office, or at the company I work for, where, just to not sit at home, because most people are working at home, and sit on our behind. The company, or one of the managers started this competition where different teams, and you're supposed to exercise every day. Do something exercisey that raises your pulse for at least 30 minutes, and then you score a point. And you can only score 1 point a day, but you can also show off like a lot of people do. And so I don't exercise. I really don't. I take the dog for a walk quite slowly. So it doesn't raise a pulse, so I can't count that. So I've been gradually exercising a bit more and lifting a bit of weights, because we have stuff in the basement that my son uses, and I have a, training exercise bicycle, a stand still one, doesn't go anywhere, it's inside, and pushing myself a little bit, not too hard, but a little bit, and to score more points and get more minutes and whatever the heck, because there are different categories. And then, I realized maybe this is good for me. So it's not only, I know, I'm stupid, but it's quite good. Plus, I've gained weight during the home working thing, because I can't control myself to eat constantly. I always eat something. So obviously I put on weight, and I put on a lot of weight in the wrong places. So none of my sort of work clothes fit, like fancy pants and jackets and shirts, my God. So I either have to, because eventually we're going to go back to the office, like in a number of months probably, and then I have to either do something about it, my body, or buy a whole new wardrobe, and that's quite a bit of money. So I've decided I'm gonna try and get a little bit in shape, for the heart, and I'm pushing 50, and lose, well, not necessarily weight, but lose the waist and a few other pieces. So we'll see. For me, that's mainly in the eating, because just working out is not gonna help, but I'm trying to eat a little bit better. I eat proper food. I don't skip meals or anything, but I'm trying to, the chocolate and the crisps and all that nonsense. And the constant eating when you're at home. I eat, I've talked about this, but I can eat piece of cheese. I'm not even going to give you examples, but anything I find. And weird combinations as well. It's really disgusting. So we'll see. It's a 6-week thing. We're 2.5, how does that look? 2.5 weeks into it. And should be good. Should be good. I'm not at the point, and I never will be, because I have been exercising in periods of time before. I'm not the kind of person that get addicted to working out and getting exercise. I hear people say that, and I envy them. Oh, the endorphins, and I have to go for a run every day. I wish. I still hate it. And I won't be doing it forever, but for a while, why not? Try my best. Okay, here we go. So I've pampered myself with Mitchell's wool fat, where I just enjoy the whole procedure, because it takes me a little bit more time than a super easy soap. But I enjoy that. It's not a big challenge, but it's a small challenge, and it's you actually have to use some experience or skill or whatever. Is it the best soap in the world? I don't know. My favorite. It probably isn't. The modern fancy schmancy soaps are probably much better. It's just, I don't get better shaves out of a modern soap, even if they're better. I was listening to Real Talk. I really like that. It's on Instagram with what's Real CDB, so Christopher David Bailey, and So Sharp David, I think. I'm not sure what their Instagram accounts are called. But Real Talk, and you find it on IAMCDB's YouTube channel as well. So every Friday, an hour or so, every 2 weeks. Oh. And they go through gossip and what's happened, and they give their opinions, which are theirs, not the community's. I definitely don't agree with everything they say, but it's entertaining. Plus, it keeps me rather is a little bit on the dry side, but that's okay. Keeps me up to date, because we don't really follow the gossip in the Facebook groups and so on. But anyway, so check that out if you want to. They were talking yesterday about post-shave, and where there's a lot of conversation on concerning soaps in particular, but also pre-shave products, aftershave products obviously, and what leads to a good post-shave experience. And they were saying, well, it's not a lot of talk about the hardware, where how a razor or a blade contributes to the post-shave experience. And I find that very true. And I would say, in terms of how you feel after a shave, after half an hour, especially for me, I put on a balm or an aftershave lotion or just a moisturizer after every shave. I would say 90% of what determines post-shave feel is the blade. You could argue the brush is important. Nah, not for me, not so much. I face lather. Some people don't. They find that can irritate the skin, especially a natural hairbrush. It's the edge. Experience during shaving is a different thing, you know. People have favorite soaps and so forth, but in terms of what determines how your face feels, at least a bit after the shave, it's all blade and your skill, of course. Your skill in using the blade. All soaps are slick. Chris was saying that himself in another conversation. 99.43% of the shaves he did last year, he had a good experience with the soap. And he uses fancy stuff and cheap stuff and Williams mug soap. You know, I wouldn't say it doesn't matter what soap you use when it comes to post-shave feel. It does, especially if you don't use moisturizers afterward. But if you have a bad edge, or you do a bad job shaving, then it doesn't matter what soap or pre or post stuff you use. You're gonna have a razor burn and a crappy feeling afterwards anyway. So yeah, and I've said this using the wick. Using the wick is almost like cheating. Because honestly, it doesn't matter what soap or cream you use. I say this quite often, but I genuinely believe that. Yeah, it's the blade. The straight razor, or the machined blade you use. That's it. Now, again, the experience, the routine, the scent, the pampering, that's something else. And a lot of people don't buy soaps just for performance, right? Because if you did, you could use Arco or Mitchell's Wool Fat only. I did a pretty bad job with the lather, but again, I can't tell the difference in shaving between this lather, which is quite inferior to be honest, and a super lather, which I usually make. So when you rinse the razor off, you detect the difference. Sorry, the window's open. It's a proper winter day today. Snow and sun is shining and it's minus 10 Celsius. Really nice. So the best pampering you probably do when you're not recording a video, especially if you're talking all the time. But I mean, what would you use if you want to share? What would you use in a pampering shave? Either to pick you up when you're having a bad day or you're feeling down, or just to treat yourself. That doesn't necessarily have to be the best gear or the fanciest gear. It's just the treat stuff. Am I making sense? Oh, this razor is so good. The edge isn't even perfect because it hasn't been honed in a long while. It's still good. Because that's one of my new theories. I said this the other day, is even if you have a blade that isn't perfect in sharpness, you can still get a really good shape. Not if it's bad, but just by going slower, and it's a theory, I don't know. So I was messaging with a very old friend yesterday, or in a group chat sort of thing, and I remember he's a traditional wet shaver. So that's the shape. I'm gonna put warm water on, or yeah, that's good. You put the water on. That's when the beauty of Mitchell's strikes you. I'm gonna rinse down here. So anyway, we were talking about other things, but I remembered he uses a safety razor. I don't know what he uses, and I said, "Boy, do you want some of the soaps I don't use very much anymore?" And he says, "Yeah, I'm down to my last centimeter on my Arco stick." So I'm sending him some stuff that it's good stuff. I just don't use it a lot, and there's a lot of soap left. So he's getting a West of Olympia. He's getting a what are they called? Meissner, German soap. He's getting this is really good. It's Greek, Faena, and he's getting Sterling, Short Dressed Man. All good stuff. So I hope he enjoys that. And then I said, well, how about taking a leap into single edge sort of straight razor thing? And he said, yeah, we can try that. So I'm sending him a wick. I may regret that because that's a damn tricky thing. But I don't want to send him a straight razor, because then you need to strop and that sort of thing. He'll put him off. So we'll see. So this varies, but today and quite often Lucido from the Mandem Corporation is a really nice aftershave. From Japan. You buy it in normal pharmacies, not even expensive. Frank introduced me to it, and there is a scent, but it's medicinal scent. And I'm going to put a perfume scent on in a minute, and then I really don't want. I want a scentless aftershave, basically. So then I put on a moisturizer, and it can be anything. I don't have anything fancy at home. Really fancy stuff is like Singari Man, Soap Commander. They have brilliant unscented aftershave bombs. I'm out of that, so I'm using plain vanilla moisturizer from Nivea. Works well. Use that good part of my life, and it works just fine. I just don't read the ingredient list and all the toxins and shit that's in there. Because if you don't tell the skin's not gonna know. You just go, here's moisture, and boom, it sucks it right in. And my skin's so tough, the toxins just fly away. That's a ridiculous thing to say. And anyway, to really pamper myself, I like to put on a nice scent. This is a perfume, Eau de something, toilette, Eau de perfume, Eau de parfum. My favorite scent of everything, and I've used this for many years, is Creed Himalaya. I don't know the scent notes. I've never studied it. It's just phenomenal. One at the front, one at the back, and I smell lovely. all through the day. Lasts forever. It's expensive, but it's damn good. So Marion, if you're up for it, do a feel good, pick me up, pamper me video. If not, just take it easy and enjoy your weekend. Same goes for all of you. Enjoy your weekends. Hope you get good ones. I hope the weather is nice where you are. I hope you're healthy and that people you love are healthy as well. If they're not, we wish you all the best. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Stay sharp.